So essentially, you can get the Cadmapper website by just typing cadmapper.com. So you will get free CT files. Essentially, where they get this from is OpenStreetMap, as well as some other open source resources. But they converted it into several formats that will be useful for all of you. So for example, Revit, AutoCAD, Rhino, SketchUp. So all you need to do is to click on try it now over here. And then if you have not had an account before, let me try with this screen, which you have to key in your name. Try it now. You will be prompted to key in your name and your email address, and then you have to open up your email address to verify, and then you will just need to log in. Okay, once you log in, you will see this default user interface over here. You can always key in your address or the latitude and longitude values of your particular site. So in this case, we can just use the middle mouse button to zoom out, and you can pan to the site. So in this case, it's somewhere. So you can either do that, zoom out and navigate, or you can also just search. Okay, so here at this green patch. Okay, so the limitation of Cadmapper for free 3D resources is that it's free only up to 1 kilometer square. So if this is too big, this is 2.4, you just have to zoom in again until you are within the free limits. So something like that. Okay. What you see here on the left-hand side are the particular options that you have for the format of the file that you want to download. So you can choose AutoCAD, SketchUp, later versions, Illustrator, Rhino, ArchiCAD, and the older versions of SketchUp or DXF. So for Revit, you can choose either AutoCAD or DXF. It's essentially the same. They will give you a DXF file format. Always make sure that your 3D buildings are checked in this checkbox here, right? So click on this. So set false height if no 3D data. This means that if, say, for example, any of these buildings that you see as an outline, Cadmapper somehow is not able to get the information from their open source origins, then what they will do is that they will take the outline and extrude it arbitrarily by whatever set height that you put over here. So you can always just put 20 if that's the case, and then it will always just extrude a default 20 meters up. For this portion here, to topography, you will need to check it so that the end result that you see over here will have a nice three-dimensional site. Right? You can see from here that this is one of the CAD files that I've downloaded. This is Shenton Way. You can see the dip in the topography. You can also calibrate how many contours you want for every particular distance. And you also can indicate whether you want the center lines of the road geometry or the outlines. Usually we will use the outlines. Outlines meaning that you will see these two lines of the roads. If you just select center lines, that means it will just treat the road system as a single line diagram instead of looking at it like a default way that we usually would read a map file. Okay, so once you're happy with these particular settings, like for example, for us now, You will just need to click on the right here, create file. And then download. Okay, so you can see here, the output of this free resource is quite good. You can also use this to immediately start to draw your diagrams if you choose the Illustrator format. Okay, so you can name it whatever you want. So for example, here, I'll just name it Farrer Park. Okay, so that's done. So I'll just close this reference file and start from scratch. So you will open up your Revit and then you click on New and select Metric Architectural Template and click OK. So what you need to do first and foremost is always to set the location of your site for this particular project. So go to Manage and click on this icon here, which indicates the location for your Revit project. So select this over here and you can just click on this and type in the location, Singapore, and click on search and click on the hyperlink here. So this will bring you to the map of Singapore. But if you can look at the cursor, you'll realize that you can also fine tune the specific location within Singapore as well. What you just need to go to is in your Revit, click on Insert, and then click on Link Cad. Okay, and navigate to where you have downloaded your file. So what I also need to do is I have to extract that file out first. So go to the zip folder earlier on, right click, extract. And then now just scroll down, select this, and choose this location here, and click open. Okay, so don't worry about this because sometimes there may be certain file format issues due to the origin of the file from Cadmapper. So just close this. And now you will see that your site is over here. Okay, just to check, you can go to View, 3D View, Default 3D View, just to take a look. Okay, change the settings to shaded. And you can also adjust the graphic display options to make sure that your edges are not shown. Smooth lines with anti-aliasing. Okay, and then this will make your drawing much more legible now. Okay, of course it's still drawing the roads that you have, but as of now this will suffice. Okay, you can also apply the same view templates that you all have already learned how to do in the earlier class and apply it to over here. You know, for example, you can make all of the objects in a certain color scheme like blue or amber. Okay, sorry. How do what? Open 3D. You go to view, 3D view, and default 3D view. So you can always go to visibility graphics and then adjust the drawings. You can switch off your grids over here. Under imported categories here, right? You can also adjust this. So for example, now you don't want all those topography, right? I can switch this off, apply. You see, so that's something less. You can also change the contours and then you click on apply. All of this you can switch off. Then this will be not much neater now. You just leave the buildings on. So the issue here, right? And the main reason why I also open it in as a link format is you will realize that now the units for Cadmapper is in meters, but in Revit you are in mm. So you have to scale it up. So you can go to Farrer Park 1 here, and now you can open this with AutoCAD. As long as you're within 1 kilometer square, you don't need to pay. Then you do many 1 kilometer square and piece it together. Yeah. Okay, so you can select all of this and then you can just type scale. So base point will be at the origin point. And then you will scale from mm to meters will be 1,000 times. Okay. So now you just save. And then when you go back to your Revit under insert, you can refresh it. Okay, reload. And click OK. And then now you'll see your model will be much bigger. Okay, just double check your units. This is about right. 8 meters. And a height of 20 meters. So this must have been one of those default buildings that they didn't know what is the height for. So now we're going to continue with the solar analysis. What you will do is you will just click on this particular button over here, the sun button, and then you will click on sun settings. Okay. And choose steel. Because you have already used the manage tab to indicate your location to be in Singapore, you can either have a steel study of Singapore on this particular date at this particular time, and you click on apply, and okay. And then you will turn on the sun path. So this will be the sun path in Singapore at 1:55 p.m. And you should turn on the shadows as well, which is the next button over here. So now you will be able to see exactly how these particular settings are. Go into your 3D Exo view like this. You click on this corner here, or you can go to top view. Okay. Okay, but let's just go to the 3D view, something like this. When you click on the sun, you can change the sun settings again. So what we did just now was to focus on one particular time, right? You can choose multi-day. For example, you want to design this during the like a summer solar study. So from June to September, right? And you also just focus on sunrise to sunset. So you don't have it starting from AM. You can adjust how many time intervals you have. So the default is 1 hour, that's fine. Then you click on apply and click OK. And then this is starting from this particular time. And you can scroll this. You can move your sun up. No, you have to click on the sun and drag it. See? Okay, so this is how you can change it manually like that. Okay. And this yellow big path thing, right, is the time from June to September. Okay. But you can always change this to be the whole year also. So same thing, go back to sun settings and click on 1 year solar study. Okay, same thing and apply and click OK. So this is the whole period of 1 year. You will notice that if you scroll down here, right, at the bottom here, it will indicate which day of the month. Sorry, which month of the year. You'll realize that February and November has around the same kind of orientation because the sun is rotating. No, it's like that because the sun's orbit is elliptical around the Earth's orbit around the sun is elliptical. Actually, now you can use this, right, as a diagram. If you are happy with these settings, right, you can just go to File and then Export. And you have to click on this. No, you have to hover over the small little arrow to scroll down and then go to Images and Animations and click on Image. Indicate where you want to save this. So for example, if it's at the desktop, then project 2. Okay. So this is an annual solar study. And then click on Save. And click OK. Okay, so you will be able to navigate here. And this is your solar study. I mean, I did it as a 512 pixels, but you can adjust the number of pixels that you want. Okay, this particular setting is also to this particular color scheme. Next thing is you can click on the sun again and choose solar study. Okay, and you will be able to, because just now we selected 1 year study, right? If you just click on play preview here, it will essentially just loop through the whole time of the year for your sun. essentially with that, you can already start to see where the patterns are of the shadows are happening over your site. And then you will know how to design in accordance to the reaction to the site shadows. And lastly, right, if you want to export, yes, you click here on the sun and then click on the solar study. Okay, then the last thing that we want to do, right, is you can just export all of this as a video. So you go to File, Export again, then hover down. So under Image and Animations, so click on Solar Study. Okay. So you can choose different settings. So if you choose realistic, right, it will look better, but it will take a longer time to export the animation. You have to change to 12, change the date correctly. Now it's I realized that the date is 2010. Yeah, it's outdated. So it should be until December 31st. And then from two zero two four January. Okay. So January 2024 to December 31st. Apply. Okay. Yeah, so then you will notice here there's 4,000 over frames. You'll notice here that if it's 15 frames per second, the total time will be 4 minutes and 53 seconds, right? So you can always adjust this to say 30 frames per second. It will reduce the number of time. Okay. So you become 2 minutes. If you want it to be even smoother, you can change it to 60 frames per second. And then it's only 1 minute. Okay. So maybe we just have that as a 1 minute animation. And you can also include time and date stamp. Click OK. And under your options, you can change what kind of oops, sorry. Under AVI, you can change whether you want to export it as a video file or you want to export it as individual pictures. And then under compressor, always choose the Microsoft Video one because it will make your file size smaller. If it's uncompressed, the file size will be very big. Yeah. And then let's click OK. And then it will start running the program already. Okay, to save time, we continue with the microclimate portion. So the link is over here. I'm just going to copy and put it into the chat. So essentially, right, this is an initiative between the Singapore ETH Center, okay? A collaboration between NUS and ETH Zurich, where they are researching into future resilient systems. So they want to find out how we can better understand the built environment as of now for Singapore as well as Zurich, and then apply these studies for future urban design and urban planning. Okay, like this. Okay, this is a test that I've done for the pavilion in the earlier exercise.